We take a break from the roller coaster ride of the Formula One season for a historic invitational today. It's a chance for us to watch some of the classic cars from days gone by, as well as a chance for drivers to try something new and enhance their reputation.
Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and welcome to episode 11 now of my F1 2017 Sauber career mode. So as you saw there, I left the game sounds for you guys to enjoy like I always do. So for today's race, it's Hungary, and we have a new part fitted, which is, I think, a chassis. It's either chassis or dynamics, I'm not sure, I didn't check it. So let's go to the first practice session.
Welcome to Hungary as we prepare for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix. The teams are just making last-minute adjustments to their cars to accommodate for the damp conditions out on track ahead of today's practice session. Now, I'd like to tell you it's bright and sunny and we're enjoying some lovely warm weather for free practice today, but unfortunately, Anthony Davidson, someone's got the weather gods in an angry mood, and I think it's going to be a damp one.
Well, don't look at me, Crofty. I was hoping for a dry session like everyone else, especially the engineers down in the pit lane. They'll be the ones with the biggest concerns, as a lot of the answers they're looking for in terms of car setup and aero balance will now have to wait until it's dry. From a driver's point of view, there's a big responsibility when driving in these conditions during a free practice session, as there's very little to gain but a lot to lose, especially if you lose control of the car and end up damaging it. And if that does happen, it can put you on the back foot for the remainder of the weekend.
So this practice session seems to be in intermediate conditions, so unlike the real life, it's raining today. So as you guys know, the past few days I haven't been uploading videos. I just took a short break, just because I just needed one, and yeah, but I hope you guys are okay with that. By the way, I'm getting a new mic soon as well, so the quality of my audio and my videos, as you guys know, is not the best, but should be much better after the new mic comes. So I had a gear failure in the first test, but I still managed to pass it, so then I decided to change the gearbox. Even though it made more than 6 races, I still got a penalty, weirdly. So yeah, so after that I decided to just go and use my 5th component on the car. So mid-season, already using our last component, even though we'll probably just not use it for now. We're just gonna, you know, take the bonus just because we're gonna start from last. We're gonna use it to our advantage. We're still not gonna use it for now. We're gonna switch back to our little worn components, so that we will save the engine much more. So then I decided to skip all of the other programs, even though, just because this video would be too long. As you can see, for anyone that wants to see them, you can pause the video. But yeah, this is how it all went. It was pretty difficult, to be honest. Hungary is not my strongest track, and with the basic setup it was pretty difficult, so let's hope we're gonna have a better qualifying session.
Quick look at the classification at the end of the session then. Here are your top 3. Vettel, Raikkonen and Lewis Hamilton.
Hi, just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
So as you guys are seeing here, I decided to upgrade the aerodynamics on the car. That was one of the few parts that was really slowing us down, even though the next race, which I forgot, yeah, it's Belgium, was not a cornering based track. I still wanted to, you know, use that advantage to improve our weakest point. Now let's go to the qualifying session.
hope you're looking forward to today's qualifying in Hungary as much as we are. We think it's going to be a cracker. This has been an exciting track in times gone by, and typically it entertains the moment the lights go out.
We've seen in the past how tricky the first corner is. It's not an issue in practice and qualifying, but if you throw a lot of highly competitive drivers at it all at once, you've got an entirely different situation. The smarter drivers will be able to temper their approach and stay out of trouble, but it doesn't mean it's easy.
So our first turn wasn't the best. We were just in front of our teammate. Just because we had penalties, I decided to just make one run, you know, save the engine, and we still were going to start in last place, so I decided to skip it all. We were still in front of our teammate momentarily there, but as you see at the end of the session, we are going to get overtaken by him. It's really strange how we were in front of him and we had only one poor lap. But yeah, that was the end of the session. Pretty poor lap from my perspective. And by the way guys, I actually increased the difficulty to 93 for this race. I might increase one more in the next one, just because so we have more competition in our races. You know, it would be boring to get points in every race, it would be very unrealistic. So yeah, hope you guys are okay with that. I've been loving the support on my videos, getting pretty decent views. We hit 281 subscribers a few days ago, which is insane. And let's try and go for the 300.
Hi, guess who? I've seen the team's expectations for the race, so I thought I'd pass them on and wish you luck. Take care.
With me to enjoy it all is Anthony Davidson, a man who made his Grand Prix debut here with Minardi back in 2002. So Ant, this is a bit of a special one for you, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'd say so. I also stood in to commentate on Jensen's win in 2006, and as I was a test driver for Honda at the time, you can imagine that was quite an emotional Grand Prix. It's also a tough circuit on the drivers, this one too. Lots of long, slow corners that require a lot of patience from inside the car. Plus, it's a very downforce heavy circuit. I mean, it's all relative, of course, but if you're lacking a bit in downforce, or if you've got a bit of an imbalance in the setup, this is definitely one of the worst places to have to deal with that.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, edging out Raikkonen, who'll start P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas and Verstappen, Massa, Stroll, Kvyat and Esteban Ocon, Perez, Palmer, Nico Hülkenberg and Magnussen, Alonso, Van Dorn, Pascal Wehrlein and a Sauber, Grosjean and Carlos Sainz starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So surprisingly, we're not actually starting from the back. We're actually starting from P18, so I guess that's pretty good for us. Other people had penalties actually. I'm surprised that I actually was starting with that position, because well, it was last place. I'm surprised that I wasn't starting in 20th. So as you guys saw, there pretty good session from Ferrari, 1-2 in qualifying. But as we go into 5 lights, there's a good start from us, jumping our teammate right from the start. As you can see, getting close to the other runners now, putting it up to Rich Mix, as we're gonna try and dive it down the inside of a couple of cars, maybe try and go side by side, but we lose a lot of positions there. Actually no, we actually gain one on Palmer, because we go side by side with Hülkenberg now. Gonna try and go for Kvyat as well, but he was just 2 in front of us. And as you guys, well, I didn't tell you guys, but I was actually running a medium traction control for this race, just to test out, you know, what can I do with my current skill in this game. So Lap 2 now, we're gonna try and dive it down the side of Kvyat. We're gonna leave him the room. But we actually managed to get it before we actually do. So up to P11, but there's someone who's smoking. That is Lance Stroll, I think. I'm not sure who that was. I think his name is gonna pop up any moment now. I am not sure who that was. Maybe one of the Force Indias, but I think it was a Williams. But I'm skipping out all the way to lap 6. We're battling with Kvyat for the points here. As you guys know, points are very precious in our career mode, as we actually block off Kvyat there, and he's fighting with Hulkenberg now, which he actually manages to get. Yellow flags now. I don't know what's happened. There's a car into the first 3 corners of the race who is out. I'm not sure who that was. I didn't go to replay, so I was just concentrating on my race. We're at P5, but everyone's making their pit stops right now. Hulkenberg's now gonna try and move down around our side actually. We're gonna try to hold him off. We gave him so much room, but we got an incredible run. The medium traction control really helping us out in this race. But as we now go all the way to lap 9, we are coming in for our first and only pit stop. It should be we should be coming out just outside the points, but lots of people are starting on the softs, as you guys can see. So we should be able to, you know, exit in a pretty decent position. Pretty good stuff, pretty quick stuff from the Sauber boys. It's pretty surprising. And we're gonna come out just in P17, just behind Daniel Kvyat there, but we're not gonna have enough time to catch him. So we are going to hope that we're gonna have a good run in the session. Look at that replay. Incredible sliding there. What an incredible camera angle. And then he went on the grass and lost a bit of time there to the other guys. So lap 11 now, the soft runners are coming in for their stop to change on to super soft, and we come out in P12, and there's Jolyon Palmer right in front of us. We're gonna try and battle him out, going around the outside. Well, trying. He's on cold tires, so we're gonna have a bit of an advantage. So we're gonna try putting up to Rich Mix, try and dive it down the inside, and we actually collide there. Lost a bit of our front wing. We rage with Palmer, but I think he's gone unscathed. But well, we are the worst in this situation. Almost reminds me of Hulkenberg and Magnussen, but nobody went wide. But now we're gonna have a disadvantage for the rest of the race. We're gonna try and block him off, make the hand of rage once again, squeezing him as much as he can. He's definitely got a better run. He actually tries to put us wide, I think, there. As you can see, almost went on our path, but lap 15 now, we're still battling with him. Can we get a better run? Yes, we have. Down the inside we were, and we had the position there, but lap 16, he managed to get us for good, and now we actually have Grosjean behind us to worry us. Look at the train we're forming behind us. Trying to keep in front of Grosjean, but look at the DRS and slipstream he has got. We're gonna try and hold it around the outside. It's gonna be pretty difficult just because it's around the outside, but I think he's got us for good for now. I don't think we're gonna try and move it down the side. We brake late, but that's going to make a disadvantage to his teammate Kevin Magnussen, who is behind us. Lap 18 now, last lap of the race, battling with Magnussen. We are in front of our objective, but well, the higher we are, the more reputation we're getting, so we have no chance of diving it down the inside of Magnussen. He loses a bit of car there, but Lewis Hamilton wins the race. Pretty surprising, because Mercedes were not so quick in qualifying on this race, so good job to them. I think Bottas is right behind him at the end as well. And as we cross the line, we're gonna finish in a pretty decent
race will see you in park for me.
P14.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Well, this is it. This is where they all want to be. Here come the top three then, out onto the podium after a fascinating Grand Prix. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
It's got to be Romain Grosjean. He was in another league for me today. Really impressive.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
So there you go, guys. P14 in a pretty hectic race, I have to say. Mercedes get on top in that Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel loses a bit of ground to his rival, Lewis Hamilton. These standings are pretty realistic compared to some other career modes I'm seeing on YouTube. So we're pretty lucky to have such a, realistic approach to this career mode. Rivalry update, we're miles away, miles in front of Alonso, and yeah, overall was a pretty good race today. And yeah, next race is going to be Belgium. We're going to have a new upgrade, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.